This is the Mile High 5 podcast with Carl Jensen and Doug Huntington. We have authentic conversations about the journey to FI, health, happiness, and some very odd tangents. We interview FI experts, side hustlers, people on their way to FI, and those who have reached the other side. Join us every week, and if you want the show notes and links and all that other stuff, head over to milehighfi.com. Hey, it's Doug here. This is a bit of a different episode. Whenever Carl and I record, we do a sound check. So I'll record for a few minutes, sometimes ask really dumb questions, but it's just to test things out. And actually, I realized that it helps us warm up for the show, because sometimes we just start recording, within 3-4 minutes of when Carl walks in the door. So we started talking about fitness because unexpectedly, the fitness episode was wildly popular. People reached out to me, people reached out to Carl, and you're interested, which is fantastic. So over the course of a few weeks, I would do a sound check with Carl, and we'd talk about our fitness and how things are going. So we have 3 of these, and one is from February 26th, one is from March 2nd, and one is from March 15th. And we talk about fitness along the way and what's going on that particular day. Carl's doing fantastic, by the way. And I had some good momentum, but I've kind of stalled out. I went to the mountains for the weekend, and I ate a lot of bad food, and it kind of got me off track. So I need to refocus and recenter, because Carl is absolutely crushing it. And I'll give you a heads up, we have another fitness episode coming up. So it should be coming out next. It's actually episode 64, and that's with Brittany Dunn. So keep an eye out for that one. We talk a little bit about fitness. And one bonus thing that we're only going to publish on YouTube is Brittany did a workout with us, and we did it via Zoom, and Carl and I worked out in the basement here, and it's weird. I'll frame it that way. It's a weird kind of thing watching us work out, because it's like we had to dance a little bit, and Carl and I unfortunately seem to be maybe the most uncoordinated people that I've ever seen in my whole life. It looked like maybe toddlers learning how to dance or something like that. Like maybe they were just learning to walk. It's bad. So we're going to publish that over on YouTube sometime soon. So if you're not subscribed on YouTube, definitely do that, and we'll release it. I think it could be like some sort of a new trending workout. It could work really well. It depends on the results we get, but we're very excited to put that out. Should be coming out in a few weeks. So here are the 3 updates from Carl and I, and we're just going to kind of transition, from one week to another. So February 26th, March 2nd, and March 15th. So I was a little surprised because our fitness episode was pretty popular, and multiple people have, number one, commented to me that they checked out the fitness episode. And then a surprising number of people also mentioned the topless aspect. And I was surprised that people were so interested in it. And you've been working out more. So you were telling me today you were doing some pull-ups. You want to share that, or is that private?
It was actually, no, it's not private. Everyone at the gym saw it. And this was actually yesterday. I got on the pickup thing and the pull-up thing, and I have an accountability partner, David Boyer, who does the phyology course. We text each other and tell us about our goals, and we encourage each other. So I didn't intend to max out, but then it felt good, so I kept on going. And I did 12 clean pull-ups all the way down, not those half ones that you see some people cheat on at the gym. And it really surprised me, because I've never done more than 10 in my entire life before. So, yeah.
Awesome. And did you feel like extra soreness or anything from it, or like just pretty good?
No, actually I didn't, and I kind of wish I did. I like to feel sore the next day, although I didn't sleep well. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to feel the pain if I have a poor night of sleep, which will be tomorrow. I'm rubbing my back here to see if I feel pain, and I feel none so far. But yeah, 12 is a record for me, so very happy. And the The other thing, I like to look at numbers, I think, and not just weight. That might be the least important one, but my resting heart rate is down 3 points from when I started this whole thing. Or it was 70, and now it's down to 67.
Nice. Very good. Yeah, and I've done a couple things. So number one, I have been trying to lift heavier weights because I think I told you, I just kind of get in there and I try not to overdo it. Sometimes my joints are a little achy, so I try to watch out for that. But yeah, I have been lifting heavier weights and just doing more. And one thing that I realized is I was intermittent fasting like too often, I think. And there's this YouTuber that I watch, Thomas DeLauer, and there's a lot of good information about working out, whether it's cardio or lifting weights. Oh, you all right? Down the wrong pipe.
Yeah, the tea went down the wrong way.
Anyway, to work out while you're fasted, and like hormonally, it's really pretty positive. But of course, if you don't have like much in your system, like you may not have as much energy. So I was like working out pretty often, fasted, whether it's cardio or lifting weights. And I'm just like, I'm fucking tired. And I would like stop early. So I've gone the other direction and I haven't been fasting as much. I've upped my protein because I know I probably wasn't getting enough protein. So having more protein, and I'm lifting more and just like eating more as well. And the other thing, I haven't done like pre-workout stuff, but I'm a very avid caffeine and coffee drinker. So I've like timed some of my workouts to like have like high calorie stuff ahead of time and have some caffeine. And I have so much more energy working out.
Really? So how far ahead of time do you eat? And you said high calorie. What are you eating?
Sometimes the other day I had something fairly sugary. I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I'm about to go work out. Fuck it. I'll just have like, I don't know. It was some like a candy bar. It wasn't a candy bar, but it was like equivalent to that. Sometimes I'll have just like a pretty healthy-ish breakfast with protein and fat. So like a couple eggs and avocado or something like that. And then maybe a couple hours or maybe like, an hour and a half later, then work out. So it is tempting to, have like a bowl of chili and then go run. But, I don't do that.
Cool.
Yeah. How do you time your food?
Yeah. Well, so far I still do strength training, but you can't really put on muscle and take off fat at the same time. Or if you can, it's very difficult and you're not really optimizing. So I've been focusing on weight loss, and how I've been doing that is really fast walking. So I don't think I have the same lethargic feeling as you, because walking is pretty easy compared to a heavy weight exercise. So it hasn't really affected me. And where I'm going with that is I always work out in a fasted state. So I'm kind of curious, after I get my weight off, when I move to focus on more strength training, if I'll feel the same thing, if working out in a fasted state won't be optimal.
Yeah. And funny enough, when I would feel too tired to like lift more weights, I would just, walk or do the stair climber thing and just walk slow on that and keep the heart rate up and like stay active, but not like do any actual strength training. So anyway, it's only been like maybe a couple weeks or so. So I haven't noticed anything. And you know what? I haven't even looked at data or anything, but I think I've trimmed up just a touch, look a little bit stronger, get the guns ablaze. And
I feel pressure. I didn't think anyone would care about that episode. And now we said we're going to put photos up there. I did take the before photo, and now we have to put the after one if people are expecting this.
Did you take a before photo?
I did.
Oh, I didn't. I'll have to drink a bunch and like be really gluttonous this weekend and get a good kind of chubby before picture, and then it'll be more impressive at the other end. So
nice. I'll drop some beer and cookies off for you.
Yeah, I didn't think people would be too interested either, but then I guess it was probably the topless stuff that people were like, "Oh man, there's nothing more there's nothing more that I would want to see than Carl and Doug with their shirts off."
We're going to get flagged by YouTube and shut down.
Yeah. It'll be on our OnlyFans, so that's the only way to get it. All right. That's good for the sound check. Carl, you've been working out a ton. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm afraid you're going to be ripped by the time we get to June and we do our, I don't know, we're going to have some sort of battle royale type thing happening. But yeah, how's the workout stuff going?
It is going pretty well, Doug. So every day my priority is to work out. So I'll get up and go to the gym for about 2 hours. I have not walked there yet. The gym is close to your house. It's a little over 3 miles, but I'm going to do that sometime soon to start walking back and forth. I've never heard anyone, or I've never thought anyone would say they were worried about me being ripped, which will never, ever happen. And most of my workouts now are just very fast walking or HIIT, which is high intensity interval training, because I have a big, nasty gut that I need to get rid of. So I still do the weight workouts, but I'm focusing on trying to lose the weight. From all the reading I've done, it's very hard to lose weight and put on muscle at the same time. I guess it can be done, but you really, really have to know what you're doing. So I'm not even going to attempt that.
How much weight have you lost so far?
I am down about 7 pounds since the start of the year.
Nice.
Probably have about another 13 to go.
Okay. That's pretty good. Yeah. And I think last mini update that we had, I told you I was trying to lift heavier weights and like eat more and have more protein. So I think I've added maybe like 50 or 60 grams of protein per day, roughly. So I don't know. Can you tell anything different about me?
I cannot tell much of anything differently. Maybe if and this is not an ask unless you want to, but if you had your shirt off, maybe I'd be able to notice a difference. The last time I saw you like that was at my pool over the summer, and that was a long time ago. I do take pictures of myself without a shirt on occasionally. So about every 3 weeks, I'll do that. So
okay,
I'll share them with you, Doug, sometime.
Oh man, I need to. I haven't been taking pictures of myself, but I think I've pretty much looked the same. Unfortunately, my arms, chest, and anything that I'm working out has not gotten any bigger, unfortunately. So we'll see how it goes. I know it takes a few weeks to make some progress, but I mean, I am eating more. I don't think I've put on weight, which is a good thing because I've clearly added some calories. So I haven't put on weight. I'm just waiting for these muscles to pop. So I don't know when it's going to happen, but it must be coming soon.
How many grams of protein do you eat? Is it like 1 gram per pound? Is that what they recommend?
Yeah, I think they recommend that. And the funny thing, because I'm sure some wiser people out there are like, oh, what are your macros? Like, are you tracking stuff? Kind of like a budget. I don't really enjoy doing that. So all I've done is I've kept everything else steady, and then I've just added more protein. So I'm a bit lazy, as I've alluded to multiple times. I just don't like the budgeting aspect of money or calories. So I'm not sure if I'm going to have to break down and do that. You're cutting right now. You're going to start bulking, and then I'm going to be like, oh shit, I'm so far behind. I don't even know what to do.
We'll see what happens, Doug. But my main thing is to get my ass in shape. I look at my blood pressure. It's like 130/78, which is hypertension or borderline hypertension. And my resting heart rate now is 67. That is down from 70, where it was at the beginning of the year. So really, I want my cardio health to be good, and then I'll worry about other shit after that. Maybe you and I can have some gym workouts together. We'll go to the gym and we'll grunt and make noise and shit. It'll be like pumping iron from Arnold Schwarzenegger. We were just talking about that in a prior podcast.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll do some sort of CrossFit where we like push tires like down the road and like throw desks or whatever kind of shit they do. I don't even know. Do you ever do CrossFit?
I have not. I've talked to people who are fanatical about it though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's like real practical. Like I said, you throw desks or we toss chair. I'm not sure. There's some kind of furniture that you throw, I think.
I've seen people running around the CrossFit gym by my house with kettlebells. Like they'll do that. I'm sure that's applicable to some part of your life.
Okay. I want to carry desks. That's what I'm talking about, apparently. All right. Carl, how's the fitness shit going?
It's going really good. I'm actually going to talk about it in our recording today, but I want to surprise you with it because I've prepared and thought long and hard about it, which means for the past 12 hours since I read your outline. But yeah, it's going great. I'm down about 10 pounds actually now. I went to a new hole on my belt.
Wow.
And I'm almost below 160 for the first time in 2 years. So yeah, it's all, and my heart rate, that's the things I really care about, Doug. And I think the most important things are the numbers. So my resting heart rate went from 70 to 65 in the first 25 days of my working out. So I'm really happy about that. And my blood pressure went from 130 over 78 to like 122 over 72, something like that. So
wow.
Yeah, really happy.
Amazing. Congrats. That's really a huge amount of progress.
Yeah. What have you been doing for fitness, Doug? And what progress have you seen? Can you bench the 4 plates yet, the 225? Or?
Not even close. I have a frog in my throat, and I have been lifting heavier weights. So I've been like actually trying to lift heavier weights, and I've upped my protein intake by probably like 50 to 70 grams of protein per day or so. And I don't track too closely. I think we mentioned that before. So I've been having like more protein shakes, and I haven't been noticing too much on the numbers. I'm not tracking as closely as you. And then, I'm mostly concerned with the sort of fat percentage and muscle percentage. So those are kind of inaccurate at the level that we're looking at in the technology that we have, which is a $40 scale that can take that, fat percentage.
Yep.
I think I may have put on maybe like 2 pounds, and I'm assuming it's pure muscle. Nothing to back that up, and it sure doesn't look like it, but I have been consuming more calories in the form of caffeine.
So I'm curious, a listener of ours sent me an email, and he told me about this podcast called Mind Pump, which we talked about. And out of that podcast, one of the ones I listened to, and they've got like 1,000, they're very prolific, but one of the ones they talked about was training for hypertrophy, like muscle size versus strength gain. I'm pretty vain, so I'm going for the former, not the latter. Mm-hmm. They talked about how you're going for hypertrophy, the size you want to do higher sets. So you're doing like 10 to 12 at a lower weight. If you're going for strength gains, you're more on like a 5 and 5 program where you're doing smaller sets, but a lot more weight. Which one are you leaning towards, Doug?
I think I'm doing higher reps and a little bit lower weight.
So you're vain like me. I kind of like that too, because I think that might be a little bit better for the joints too, and a little bit safer, especially at my advanced age.
Yeah. And I think, one thing that I should be doing is keeping like a notebook and know exactly like where I'm at, but I'm just like kind of remembering what I lifted the last time, and I'm doing a little bit more. And some days if I don't feel it, I'm not doing as much. So it's very haphazard and kind of my style. I don't stress out too much on it, but I'm like, if I could lift a little bit heavier and have some more, that should work. And yeah, this is all a vanity purpose. We're talking about it over and over because we want people to ask about it. And then eventually we're going to take our shirts off.
We've talked about your special circumstance gym, your free gym, so we don't need to bring that up again. But I'm curious, it is in an apartment complex. Do they actually have free weights there? Because a lot of things like that don't have free weights. They air towards more machines.
They just have dumbbells.
Okay. So you can't do like plates on a bench press or anything like that.
They do have, so let me take that back. So they do have a squat rack and a place benches. So you can do that. And they do have some free weights, but it's all on like that mechanism that's on a track, the vertical track. So you can do those types of exercises. The main one that I miss is you can't really do deadlifts using that barbell since it's attached and it doesn't get quite low enough. And I think maybe you could do part of the exercise, but it's not far enough down.
So the HQ has multiple ways to do deadlifts. We've got the hex bar and we've got the normal straight bar. So maybe we'll have an episode where we go there and film for a little bit. We can make all kinds of noise and shit. You could wear your neon tank top. It'll be awesome.
And is there still a bunch of snow back there? The last time I was there was a foot of snow.
No, I think it's cleared out. That part is in the sun. So yeah, you don't have to trudge through the snow, and the weather's getting beautiful. So it would be a perfect time to do this.
Awesome. Cool. Well, I think that's good for a sound check. And let's Let's see. Thanks for listening to the show. That was the Mile High 5 podcast, and I'm Doug Cunnington, the balder host, and Carl Jensen is the cool, sexy one. If you dig the show, please do 3 things for us. Number 1, tell a friend, a family member, an enemy about the show. We really don't care who you tell. Maybe forward them a specific show that you know that they will like. It's the single most helpful thing that you can do to spread the word. It's like giving us a virtual high five, and actually we don't give high fives in person, so the virtual kind's pretty good. And more importantly, your friend or family member or even your enemy will appreciate the fact that you were thinking of them. Number 2, make sure you're following or subscribed on your podcast app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, YouTube, whatever you're using, and that way you won't miss a show. And number 3, please leave us a rating and review. We read them on the show occasionally, and you might hear yours out there on an upcoming episode. Quick disclaimer, this show is not financial or legal advice. I'd actually be surprised if it sounded like it. It's really just for entertainment, and that's at least what we're hoping for. But seriously, get advice from professionals. Carl and I are just 2 guys with microphones that sit in my basement and talk. So we'll catch y'all next week.